YouTube? This is BUB'S Comics coming at you with a quick comic haul, and art haul, and all kinds of fun stuff haul. So this one's going to be really special for me because I just can't believe this book's in my collection. So that's pretty much where it starts, and that's where it ends. But first off, we'll show you a couple on the way. This first one is going to be a price guide. So there's a comic book price guide number 8. From 1970. Don't ask me now because I forgot to look. I want to say it's 76 or 78. 1978. So it's comic book price guide from 1978. And on the front cover, we have some original art by Bill Ward. So you see that's Torchy there. That's Bill Ward creation. And then also he has featured Phantom Lady. Let's see if we can get that to... There we go. We got Phantom Lady all tied up. We got Wonder Woman. We got Miss Fury. We got Bullet Girl, as you know, one of my favorites. That's probably Sheena in the background there. Maybe Hawk Girl back there. And I'm not sure who this one is, so let me know. It looks like some kind of Green Hornet, honestly, but don't know who that is. Let me know if you know in the comments below. So there you go, the comic book price guide. And these things are chock full of great information and fun stories. And it's got a Bill Ward story in here. And then they also do this kind of in-depth dive into women in comics. So just great stuff. It's awesome Matt Baker art right there. So there you go, the comic book price guide. We'll set that right there. With front cover by Bill Ward. Just fantastic. And speaking of Bill Ward and Torchy, here is the origin of Bill Ward's Torchy. Now what this is this is a print of his original comic strips that featured in the U.S. Army's magazine, like self-run, self-contained magazine. So this went out to you know, he was a private first class, so it always says by private first class Bill Ward. And so this is something that he brought to conventions and that he sold. Of course, he's passed now. Golden Age artist, and then he did also, I think he was still active leading up through the 70s and early 80s. So of course this is signed by Bill Ward. And what I like is that some of these that you can find out there, because these are not particularly rare, this is a common thing for him to have signed, but some of them are like personalized, and some of them have his actual name written out as opposed to his artistic signature. So this one has his artistic signature. That's the way he signed his art, and I always kind of go for that if I can get that. Here's his signature down here. So I always kind of go for that. If I can get the actual art signature, then that's what I shoot for. So anyway, there it is. Bill Ward's Torchy. Hope y'all can appreciate that. I think it's awesome. I haven't got it framed yet. Just, you know, framing stores are all closed, so hopefully I can get this in a nice frame and get this up on the wall at some point. Not in the living room. My wife's already said no to that. So, all right. And then last, and not even close to certainly least, we have a book that I still can't believe I own. We're just going to go ahead and show it. It's Phantom Lady number 14. Matt Baker covered. Now it says Phantom Lady number 14, but as you look out. But as you may or may not know, Golden Age books tend to be very loose with their numbering. So when they first started out with their numbering, a lot of times they would pick higher numbers, kind of like trying to pass a check. So they didn't want the low numbers to scare people away from thinking that these books were just now starting and to not get invested in a character. So they would throw a higher number out there because number ones weren't as coveted as they are now. You know, now everyone's like, oh, there's a number one, everybody run out and grab it. But back then they were like, oh, there's a number one, we don't know if there's going to be a number two, let's wait for an established series. So they would start books, you know, mid-range, mid-numbers, a lot of times double digits, just to give people the impression that this is something that's been out for a while. Of course, the resources weren't available then as they are now. This book's, I believe, from 1947. So, Phantom Lady, Matt Baker cover, absolutely fantastic. It's a little beat, but it's all there, and it's just absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Matt Baker classic headlights cover. It says in this issue, Scoundrels and Scandals, The Condemned Venus, and A Shroud for the Bride. So it has a little mini story at the back too, the last page. Wow. I just can't believe I own this book. Right now, eBay's been real good to me. Go on there, and even if you don't make an offer, sometimes I always look for things that have a make an offer tab, but sometimes they don't have it. And so in this case, I was just happy to put a watch on it. And then finally, the guy was like, you know what? He made an offer to me. So anytime that can happen, I'm very thankful. So glad to have it. There you go. Phantom Lady number 14, Matt Baker art. I feel like I'm in some kind of golden age good girl art club now, which I know that's silly because my collection's got tons of good girl art, but it did not have a Matt Baker cover, and it did not have a Phantom Lady specifically by Matt Baker. So now that I have this, I really feel like my collection is in another group of good girl art collectors, and it was kind of necessary for that to be, because if I was looking through someone's collection and they said they were a good girl art collection and they had a robust golden age collection as well, I'd be looking for a book like this. And if I didn't see it, I would think that you're on the way, they were on the track, but they didn't get to that level. And to me, this book brings my golden age good girl art collection to that level. So very, very happy to have it. I hope it's not my last one, but it's definitely my first one. And if it turns out to be my only one, I'll still be happy with that. So that's all we got for you today. Hope you all enjoyed that, and we'll catch you next time on BUB'S Comics. Remember, read a comic and don't apologize for the glare. Bye-bye.